News OK's Press Row with the Oklahoman's Barry Tramel and Jenni Carlson is powered by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
I'm Barry Tramel, and I say that when Kansas City claims it deserves the Big 12 tournament permanently, I can't argue.
Well, I will. From the OPEPCO studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Press Row is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Barry, you did an entire main event in the Monday paper about the Big 12 tournament, what's going to happen to its future. Kansas City now looks to have a stranglehold on it. Is it ever going to come back to Oklahoma City?
I sort of think not. I think there's a better chance the conference dissolves before the tournament comes back to Oklahoma City. But even if the Big 12 has some staying power, I don't know that we'll get the tournament back anytime in the next decade or so. I think Kansas City has made a commitment to make sure it gets its claws into this the way it once did. The tournament was Big 8, Big 12, whichever, was in Kansas City 1947 through 2001. So I got to believe that the conference has sort of made the commitment to stay in Kansas City. Oklahoma City was a great host in 07. Attendance and interest sort of waned in 09, and a lot of the college basketball problems around here, attendance-wise, interest-wise, we've blamed on the Thunder. I think that's a mistake. I don't think the Thunder has negatively affected attendance at Stillwater or Norman. I think those are internal problems with the Cowboys and Sooners. But the Big 12 tournament is a different animal. And I think people now go downtown, go to what was once the Ford Center. They've gotten used to going down there all the time for the Thunder. Fabulous entertainment, great basketball games. The novelty of going down there for the Big 12 tournament, not so great anymore. So Kansas City's also taken the one thing Oklahoma City had is a great central location for both venues right across the street from each other near the entertainment district. Kansas City now has virtually the same thing with the new arena and the Power and Light district. I think the Big 12 tournament's in KC to stay.
Well, there's no doubt that Kansas City definitely is a better option now than it was when Oklahoma City got the tournament. The Power and Light district really changes the equation. You used to have to essentially, you drove to the arena, and then once the game was over, you had to drive somewhere to get anything beyond whatever the stadium fare was if you wanted to eat or anything like that. So Kansas City a lot better, but here's why I think Oklahoma City has a chance to get the tournament, the basketball tournaments back. With now the Big 12 going to 10 teams, there's no football championship. The football championship looked like it might be anchored in Dallas, in Arlington at Jerry World. Now your premier event is in the North, and you've only got 4 North teams. So I think the South teams now have an argument to say, now wait a second. Our premier conference tournament event is going to be basketball. Why should it only be in the North? There's 6 of us down here in the Southern Territories. Why should we have to go deep into the heart of the North? Let's have some sort of split. I don't know contractually how you do it because Kansas City has it sewn up here for the next few years, but I think that the South coaches and administrators could really make a push, Barry, to convince the Big 12, hey, there needs to be a little bit more equality with this.
Well, I think you're right. The geography does favor Oklahoma City now because of no football in Dallas, and also the balance of teams has shifted south. I just don't know that politically anyone cares enough to make a big push for Oklahoma City. I don't sense that. Frankly, the Texas schools don't care. I don't care a lot about where the Big 12 basketball tournament is located. The teams in the North, Kansas, Kansas State, Missouri, even particularly Iowa State, they do care. Now, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they've got problems of their own. They need to fix their own houses before they can even worry about where the conference tournament's located. Another factor is this. It's possible that the men's and women's tournaments will be split in the coming years, either by choice or by necessity because of the NCAA schedule. So if that happens, I think the women's tournament would be placed in Oklahoma City. The men would obviously stay in Kansas City. That's something to look out for. But I'm not optimistic that the men's basketball tournament of the Big 12 will come to Oklahoma City anytime soon.
Well, and I know that the Big 12 wants to see increased interest, and frankly, that's going to take winning. It's going to take winning by the local teams. I mean, you're seeing lower attendance at OU, at OSU. The All-College was very lightly attended. The NCAA Regional that was at the Ford Center when it was still the Ford Center a year ago, it had some attendance problems. Now, granted, there was no local team, OU, OSU not there, but had Kansas, Kansas State, and some really other good teams that were there. Ended up being some fantastic games. Weather got into play a little bit, but still not having those advanced sales like the Oklahoma City regionals of the past have, that hurts. And the Big 12 is looking at that. I think that the Oklahoma City, the card that they can play is geography, and then their secondary card is the women's attendance. That's one area where Kansas City has not really stepped up yet with great women's attendance. Maybe we'll see it this year, I don't know, but we haven't seen it a lot in the past with the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City and the women's side. So if Oklahoma City wants to make a play, they might play that card, Barry. But I agree, I think Kansas City does have a stronghold. Oklahoma City's going to have to work if they want that tournament back. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere, newsok.com, and every day.
News OK's Press Row with the Oklahomans Barry Tramel and Jenni Carlson is powered by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.